Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Texas girl is home with her family this morning after being kidnapped this weekend. The investigation continues into what led to a deadly explosion yesterday in southern Indiana. Plus, officials at the University of Kentucky are remembering a Southwest Virginia senior killed in a crash Friday night. We will tell you why.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on Monday, May the 20th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning. Well, this weekend was a scorcher. Monday and Tuesday look to be a little bit cooler, but you're going to want to soak those in because the rest of this week, right back at it. Let's bring in Brandon this morning to give you a better breakdown of what to expect because he's paid to do it. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, my friend. And it's a Monday, that's for sure. But as we head out the door this morning, cloudy skies, maybe a stray chance for a shower, especially close to the I-75 corridor and up to the I-64 corridor. Cold front still moving through. Let's take a look. Whitesburg this morning, kind of dreary as you head out the door, but dry for the most part. Maybe just a couple of scattered showers overnight. See one new shower developing there near the Letcher County and Wise County border. So again, a few pop-up showers still possible. Temperatures mild this morning. 70 still Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Logan, Harlan, and Middlesboro. Everybody else in the 60s starting out your day. Looking at 79 for your forecast highs. We rebound as the sky is clear. Average for this time of the year 75. Record is 87 set back on this day in 1996. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
We continue to follow developing news out this morning out of Wayne County. A large fire is burning at Conley Bottom Resort. The resort is on the banks of Lake Cumberland. This is video shot by Scotty Morrow. There is a pretty big response. You can see firefighters and police on scene. We are told there are no injuries as of right now, but firefighters on scene are saying there are major losses. Radio station WKYM in Monticello is reporting the main dock and the Lighthouse Cafe are two of those losses. Officials are asking people to avoid until further notice. We are working to learn more and we'll keep you posted as we do. An 8-year-old girl in Texas is safe with her family this morning thanks to two community members who spotted a kidnapper's car. CBS's Laura Podesta is in New York with the latest details.
With that. Thank you. Jeff King.
Pastor Jeff King is one of two people who helped find 8-year-old Salem Sabatka early Sunday morning.
I can't thank you enough that she's alive, that she's here with us still, and that she has a wonderful life to live ahead of her, Father.
King says a detective told him and a friend to search parks, apartments, and hotels in the area around Fort Worth, Texas.
We had been checking parks all night, and so this was the second hotel we had checked.
They spotted the suspect's car in the parking lot and called police at 2 in the morning. Police busted down a hotel room door and took 51-year-old Michael Webb into custody.
We got her, we got her, we got her.
There is a smile on my face. I'm here to report that Salem has been found safe.
The kidnapping Saturday evening was caught on a neighbor's door cam in the suburb of Forest Hill.
Help me, please! My daughter just got kidnapped!
Police say Webb grabbed Salem as her mother tried to fight him off.
So much so that she was able to grab a piece of jewelry off of that male and was basically thrown from a vehicle that drove off with her daughter inside.
Authorities quickly issued an Amber Alert. King said having two children of his own was his biggest motivation to go out and search.
I would have wanted as many eyes looking out for my boys.
Webb is now facing charges of aggravated kidnapping. Salem is back home with her family. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Police say they expect to file more charges against Webb. He was charged last year with aggravated sexual assault, but those were dropped when a witness refused to cooperate. Well, switching gears, UK President Eli Capilouto is reacting to the loss of a high school senior planning to attend UK. Abingdon High School had its graduation Friday night, but one student was not there. Kirk Nairn died just hours before the graduation when his car hit the rear of a tractor trailer on Interstate 81. Nairn had accepted an ROTC scholarship to UK. He was planning to start in the fall.
We gather for a time of celebration as we recognize and honor the class of 2019. However, we are also deeply saddened by the untimely passing of two members of this class during their senior year.
Funeral services are scheduled for this Wednesday. Gunfire erupted at a high school graduation party in Alabama early Saturday morning, killing one person and injuring 8 others. It happened at a community center in Atmore near the Florida border. According to witnesses, a fight broke out between 2 women during the graduation party for seniors at Escambia County High School. Police say as people tried to separate the women, shots were fired, hitting several people. Officials are still searching for the suspects. In Ohio, authorities say 1 man was killed this weekend in a small aircraft crash near a high school near Columbus. According to the sheriff's office, spectators at a track and field meet at a local high school reported the crash around 12:45 Saturday afternoon. Witnesses told investigators they heard the plane's engine cut out and then saw the plane crash. Investigators say the pilot, 90-year-old Glenn Galloway, was the only person on board at the time of the crash. The FBI said it responded to a reported security concern at Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina Sunday. The FBI released a statement saying, in part, a variety of steps were taken out of an abundance of caution, including deplaning passengers and rescreening them, along with a thorough search of the JetBlue plane, which was leaving Charlotte for JFK. Officials say there are no indications there was a threat to public safety. Well, police continue to investigate a deadly home explosion in Jeffersonville, Indiana. It happened just after 5 yesterday morning. We are told there were 3 people in the home at the time of the explosion, and one of those people later died. When firefighters arrived at the scene minutes later, the house was burned to the ground. Officials said there was a car nearby that had to be put out.
It was a big boom with the concussion you could feel in your chest, and the whole house just shook. I mean, it just shook, raised up, and rattled the windows, knocked the gutter off the back of my house. And I thought somebody fell in the house, but I ran out and I thought somebody hit the house. And I ran outside and looked, nobody hit the house.
The cause of the explosion is not known. An Ohio man is behind bars this morning in Johnson County after police found him driving under the influence with a child in the car. Christopher Clayton was arrested Friday in Paintsville. A woman in the car was also arrested. Officers charged Clayton with DUI, endangering the welfare of a minor, failure to use child restraint device in vehicle, and menacing. The passenger, Natasha Marshall, was also charged with endangering the welfare of a minor and public intoxication. Both were sent to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. A car fire backed up traffic on I-75 in Laurel County yesterday afternoon. Dispatchers say they responded to this fire just after noon Sunday. It happened between the Corbin and London exits. Southbound traffic was blocked for about an hour while crews put out the fire. We do not know of any injuries at this time. We want to pass along an update to a story we first told you about this weekend. The National Guard airlifted a hiker out from the Natural Bridge in Powell County Saturday. The woman was released from the hospital after a short stay. Another hiker who was reported missing the day before inside the park was found safe that same night. Also in local news, one church in Louisa has a humble past, but the pastor has grown even more. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher takes us to the church where the message is about fighting against all odds.
Sometimes the journey through life is rough. Matt Brown's rocky past left him wounded.
About 5 years ago, I was in active addiction and I ended up in treatment.
And his marriage in shambles.
We were nearly divorced. We should have been divorced.
Turning the pain into happiness as the pastor of the table in Louisa.
And God intervened in our life in a major way. He laid a foundation of stability and compassion in our lives.
Services starting in 2016. The table has humble beginnings. And eventually, they needed a bigger building.
We started meeting at a spot right down the street at Masterpiece Cafe.
New members finding a place they could be accepted.
And I believe that part of that growth is because of the compassion and the generosity that has been being lived out in the people that are coming to the table.
Sunday's message, against all odds.
We see that overcoming against all odds in his life. And I believe that allows us to overcome as humans.
Showing anyone can emerge from their darkest days.
And it's just amazing to see what he's done in 5 short years.
In Lawrence County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you want to learn more about when you can visit the table, we have that information on our website at WYMT.com.
Well, the forecast this morning features a cold front that is swinging through, bringing us some scattered chances for rain. Let's take a look at the last 6 hours, and you can see kind of dying off a little bit, but still a little bit of spotty rain and shower activity out there this morning. You'd see it not too much showing up on live pinpoint Doppler radar near the Floyd-Knott County line there, near the Pike-Letcher County line, and then back into Rockcastle and Jackson counties this morning. Very, very scattered, very stray this morning. Temperature still in the 70s in a lot of areas, but getting closer to the mid-60s there back into central Kentucky, even some upper 50s in Lexington. That's a big change from this time yesterday morning, but it is 11 degrees warmer in Harlan and Middlesboro than it was this time yesterday. Regional temperatures 70s across the board for a big chunk of the area, 50s and 60s back off toward the west. Day planner today, slow climb as the clouds hang around for a little while, and then when the sunshine comes out, we get back into the upper 70s. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you, sir, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Just ahead, more on how one Australian island is dealing with a major trash problem and what officials there plan to do about it.
We're out with researchers catching whale snot for science. I'm Tom Hansen in Gloucester, Massachusetts. I'll explain what they're hoping to learn.